Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. When someone ignores the "I don't work here," you should put on a really sympathetic look and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were dropped on your head when you were little." Let's start our video with a story in which our OP got into a ridiculous situation. He even felt like he was in a cheap reality show. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Look, I don't have time for this. Just do your job. I'm a Lexus technician, meaning I fix cars at a Lexus dealership. Like any technician, I wear a uniform. This consists of black pants, a Lexus hat, and a silver, black, and gray button-down shirt that says Lexus above the left chest pocket. After work on Friday evening, my wife called to ask if I remembered to bring home my bottle of leather cleaner to wipe down the dash in her car. I'd been promising to do this since we bought the damn thing a month ago. Sure enough, I'd forgotten again, so I decided to stop by an auto parts store and pick some up to keep at the house. I'm not sure if it's okay to name names, so for plausible deniability's sake, let's just say this is a large American auto parts retailer that has a certain penchant for the color green, even extending to the employees who are also clad in green and khaki. As I'm browsing the detailing aisle looking for some Lexol, a man approaches me and begins asking me questions. The conversation goes like this. Me equals OP, customer equals D-head equals DH. DH. Excuse me, do you know if this window cleaner is safe on tent? Me, seeing that this is a valid question to ask another shopper such as myself, I'm not sure, but I do know that brand is. I use it myself. DH, thanks. I also need some help with windshield wiper sizes for mine and my wife's car. Can you look up the sizes as well as the proper air filters for a names, make, and model of cars? Me, oh, I don't actually work here. I'm just here for some stuff. DH, right. The uniform doesn't give you away at all. Me, excuse me? DH, look, I don't have time for this. Just do your job. I won't tell your boss you tried to skip on helping me. Me, I think you're mistaken. I work for Lexus, like it says on my uniform, and my hat. I don't work for or have I any affiliation with this company. I'm not even in this business. DH, do I need to contact your district representative? This is unacceptable. If you're too lazy to help me, just point me in the direction of your supervisor. Me, I'm not sure how to break this down any more clearly, but allow me to try. I don't work here. The employees of this store are the guys in the green shirts? Have a nice day. DH, I understand that you don't effing work here, but you do work on cars, and it's all the same. You guys are supposed to take pride in what you do and offer help to those in need. I'm in need. Stop being lazy. Me, I am not an effing firefighter, dude. I get paid for what I do when I'm at work. I'm not a public servant here to help you, and I'm not too lazy to kick your butt up and down this aisle if you don't watch your attitude. DH, incomprehensible shouting. Store manager finally came over when he heard the shouting. I can't believe that guy. How do you go through life in such a state of blissful ignorance? How have you not been Darwinized out of the gene pool? His responses were so ridiculous in nature that I felt like I was on some sort of bad reality show. And our second story. I never said anything about actually fixing your computer. About 8 weeks ago, we had the family scheduling fork up from hell. I had to chaperone my younger daughter to a sporting tournament with 2 other kids, and my eldest son had booked tickets to one day a year his favorite hockey team was in town. We moved 30 months ago, and it's been a personal, unmitigated disaster for him. My eldest daughter was supposed to be the backup to take him to the game if hubby can't make it home. All this has been planned for upwards of 7 months. Then, at the last possible second, hubby gets stuck at work all weekend. Eldest daughter decides to run off to the beach all weekend with the girlfriend she's dating and her family, defending it as a big deal for her girlfriend, LGBT acceptance and all. My eldest son gets completely screwed and misses the game. And to add insult to injury, he gets dragged off to youngest daughter's tournament. It's a very, very bad moment that's going to take a while to make him whole for. I tell that story to tell this one. About 10 days ago, eldest daughter's computer contracted a piece of malware, and she hadn't backed up all of her final end-of-the-year work, all of which was due 3 to 5 days later. So she takes it to the eldest son because he's a computer genius and can fix anything. Unsurprisingly, he tells her to go fly a kite, but he clearly does not know how to fix it. But I get it, he needs to make a point, and what we did 8 weeks ago was egregious. So we take it to the computer repair place, they're backed up, they won't even touch it for a week. By which time my daughter will have failed 3 of her classes, trashing her college hopes in the process. So I try paying/bribing/begging my son to fix it. Nope. He's really serious about making an actual point about how badly things have gone and that her F-up is not his problem. Is he right? Yes. But the squeeze is on, and what followed was some of the least proud few hours of parenting in my life as I forced him to salvage my daughter's project files. There's later massive compensation for this one. After much yelling and threats, eldest son finally agrees to rescue her files. 3 hours later, he chucks a CD at eldest daughter along with a barrage of insults and profanity. Much relieved, daughter sets out to make a few final edits on those papers, only to discover that the malware is still on the laptop. When confronted about it, he simply says, "I said I'd rescue her files. I never said I'd actually fix her computer. I'll fix it when she starts treating my things as importantly as she treats her own things. Until then, she can beg someone else for help." When she came whining to me, I told her not to look a gift horse in the mouth and that he had better things to do with his time. Oh, and she owes her brother $225 for 3 hours labor. And our next story. Do your job. My job? Okay, I will. I'm a night staff worker working in a care home with children with challenging behavior. Though my job title is night support worker, it's more like glorified cleaner because the children almost always sleep through the night without issue. I really enjoy my job. It fits perfectly around my family and the pay's good. Recently, this new woman was hired. Let's call her Icky. I hate her. I've worked there for nearly a year and have good relationships with staff and the children. Though I love work, my fellow night workers are just lovely women and we chat on a WhatsApp group and we're very protective of each other. Since Icky started, she keeps leaving messages on how night staff should be doing this, night staff needed to do that. F off, Icky. If management needed us to do something, I'd hear it from them, not you. The final straw came when this message was left for night staff on a night shift a few weeks back. Night staff need to be checking the fridge for out-of-date food. There was some food that had gone off, which I had to chuck out, and night staff need to ensure they're checking the fridge. I took umbrage with this for 2 main reasons. One, it's actually day staff's job to be checking the food dates, etc. They have a checklist which needs to be ticked off every day, and making sure food is labeled and in date is one of the tasks. 2, Icky's been here for 5 minutes. I've had fart smells linger longer. And for someone so green to write a message like that? Jog the F on. So if Icky thinks it's night staff's job to maintain the food safety standard, all right, I will. That night, and every night shift I was on for the next 2 weeks, I meticulously went through every cupboard in the fridge and threw away everything that was opened, not labeled or wrapped up, including sauces, condiments, sandwich meats, dairy products, everything. One night, I literally threw away half a fridge worth of food, which in a non-care home environment wouldn't normally be an issue, but food safety standards state food needs to be wrapped once opened and labeled. I also left a note every time I had thrown food away. Staff need to be sealing and labeling food correctly. As night staff don't know when food products were opened, we have to assume it's out of date to comply with food safety standards. It got to the point where management pulled me to one side and said, "Why are you throwing so much food away?" I responded by opening the fridge and showing them an unopened pack of ham, not sealed, not labeled, and the back of the ham packet says, "Once opened, use within 3 days." So I said, I was told night staff needed to be checking the fridge, and every time I've checked it, the day staff aren't labeling food or storing it correctly. Then I have to assume it's out of date. I showed management the message, and I was told, actually, it's day staff job, and night staff don't need to worry about that. Shock. Horror. So management made a clear statement about day staff responsibilities and took Icky to one side to have a chat. Take that, Icky. Note, I know it should be criminal to throw food away like that, but UK food safety standards required it. Sad about the food, but sometimes we gotta do something because of obnoxious people. And our last story. Landscaping with a large rock. For some reason, everyone who takes the corner at my house to go down the alley likes to drive over my lawn. My wife, myself, and both my kids all drive, We make the corner in everything from an old sedan to a welding truck with dual rear tires. I've tried everything from a traffic cone to planting flowers there. Everything gets run over. I don't want to damage anyone's car, so I didn't put little rocks there that could rip out the undercarriage of a vehicle. I had my brother-in-law bring over a massive boulder. It's about 3 feet tall. I also planted flowers around it, just Gerber daisies. I was not trying to camouflage the rock, I was just trying to make it more visible. The rock sits back almost 2 feet from the edge of my property. One of my neighbors managed to hit the rock anyways, destroyed the left side of his car. He's mad at me and said he's calling the cops on me for setting it up to damage cars. I laughed at him because I checked with bylaw enforcement before I put the landscaping in. I could have built a brick wall on that corner and not be responsible if anything happens, but I didn't want to create a blind corner. Now, there's a big fight going on in my neighborhood Facebook page between the people who used to cut that corner and everyone who says that it's my property. My wife says I should take the rock away. Great, except she was mad at me and them when her garden got run over. My neighbor says I'm an a-hole for damaging his car. I don't think I did anything wrong. Did you send a bill to the neighbor to cover the damage he did to your valuable rock? Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.